for round 3, match 1 of this Battlestar Galactica Deadlock Community Tournament.
Joining, right?
Yeah, the match is up. Let's just flatten there.
Yes, sir.
Since might do. I'm tempted to rise my Artemis as I've done previously, as that could very well be 3 Mercuries. I don't know what the 2 bottom ones would be. But if it turns out that they're not 3 Mercuries, I could be a bit scuppered. So I think I'll
On it, Commander.
lower my ships for the time being.
Understood. Yes, Commander.
I'm just going to check flak distances. That's fine. That's you down, you down.
Robot, it seems that something crashed in my game. I cannot seem to be able to do
Yes, sir.
anything. Can we please restart? Because I cannot. My game simply crashed.
Okay.
If that's not a problem, probably I'm not sure if it's some actualization or so.
There we
Give
go.
me
Now
please,
just
if you
note
could.
your other players disconnected.
Okay, thank you. Because something really crashed, and the game crashed. Give me please about like 10 minutes to make sure everything's properly working. Okay, that's okay.
Okay.
I should be earlier, but you know, just in case.
fun break.
Okay, I'm back. I'll set up the game this time.
Okay.
Hope it works. I got the meteorology alert that there might be some storms in the area, so it could technically affect my connection, but I can't see any storms outside, so it must have been something. I don't know. Okay, 240 refinery annihilation. Okay, game is up. Join when ready.
Game. Let's have a second screenshot, I guess, although it looks exactly the same as the first. So it begins again.
Hopefully this time it will actually start. Okay, so I'm stepping off the chat then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On it, Commander. Yes, sir. Yes, Commander.
Okay, no turn 1 torpedoes. That's refreshing. Start. Turn 1 torpedoes is just... ugh. Far too many people do it, and it's just a bit irritating. And thus far, turn 1 torpedoes has not led to a win against me, so... It is a tactic not generally the greatest. Not necessarily the worst either. It's a Mach 2. Huh. I thought that'd be a Mach 7. So, I'm gonna say for a moment they're 3 Mercuries. That would give him 3, 6, 9 Mach 7s. We've built them out that way. Because honest to God,
Yes, Commander.
don't think that's 3 Mercuries. I mean, these two that didn't fire anything, which makes me think it's not a Mercury. But I would love to know for sure. So what's flak protection like? I could do with Minotaurs being back a little.
On it, Commander. Yes, Commander. On it, Commander.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Everything's all perfect. And I need to move my fighters. Out of the way. Now let's hope it doesn't do turn 2 torpedoes. Nope. No torpedoes. Those are just PCMs. That's a bunch of fighters. Okay.
So say we all.
My Valkyries need to scap because Apoloka is not a bad player. And I can imagine him taking the fight to battle when he sees he can just win it. Like, no questions asked. Like, I need to get... In fact, I need to not... I'm going into this far too quickly.
On it, Commander.
I need to slow down so that I can... I can't see the... Berserk Shadow. Where does it stop going forward? There. In fact, that's probably just a good place. Let's slow. Right down so I don't screw myself by doing an engagement I don't actually know is good yet. He's got a couple of PCMs. I don't have anything to take those out with this first battle. It's gonna be tough, because that's... In fact, to me that looks like they're Jupiter... They're not Jupiters, they're Atlases. And I've seen 3 Mercury, 3 Atlas... Sorry, 3 Mercury, 2 Atlas before. It is very much possible that's what he's taken. And if he has, these things need to climb. But if those are like any sort of battle star or anything, I just need to be sure. Raptor squadrons. Okay. Right, so I can at least get... Come on, let me move that Valkyrie. There we go. I can get
On it, Commander.
radius range on his stuff. They're all raptors. Definitely on a boarding thing. Kind of just pointed out badly my ships just aren't taking them out. Actually, don't dive this turn. He's right below him. One turn of diving, I'll stay below him. If he's got Mercuries, I'll want to be starting to climb imminently. In fact, my fighters are clear. Let's do some of that. And just to make sure I'm getting further away.
Understood. IFF confirms unit is hostile.
New Mercury's to Atlas. Yeah. Oh, damn. Where is... Okay, so we ordered that one. No. That's right, the damage they took just getting there. Well, that's a disappointment. Yes, you can cancel flak. You can cancel flak. What's actually got on these? PCMs and some guided.
Yes, sir. Squadron target is confirmed.
Hello.
Hello.
I just saying hello.
Cancelled your 2 flags.
No, you're well. What's wrong?
I want to select that.
Wrong with Discord. How are you doing today, Robot Penguin?
Pardon?
How are you doing today?
Alright. This match
I
is...
wish you luck in the tournament. Thank you for
Thank you.
participating.
I think at the moment gonna need it, because that is...
Yeah. I think I played you one time and I lost really badly to you like 9 months ago.
That's tight hands.
Why is this thing not working? It's supposed to... On speaker, maybe.
Right, let's grab these 2 ships and...
Are you streaming?
On Twitch, yes. I plugged it in Vince's discussion.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm supposed to be sleeping. So you have a match scheduled soon?
I'm doing a match now.
Oh! Sorry for distracting you.
That's fine.
I don't know how to watch Twitch on this cell phone.
Fighter squadron is taking fire.
You just
Squadron has gone dark. Squadron has gone dark.
Yeah.
Missiles
let's see.
incoming.
Where did his tight lands go? They all over there.
Chow Alpha.
Top ships, full attack mode.
Sounds exciting.
It is rather exhilarating. Because I'd say I'm at a disadvantage. Because
Well,
it seems like the go-to fleet is 3 Mercuries, 2 Atlas.
yeah, that seems to be pretty much the go-to fleet this week.
Understood.
I've been playing this week with one based on Explosives winning fleet last round, and it's been doing relatively well, but it got crushed last night for some reason. I don't know why. Well, because the guy wasn't following tournament rules, and one of the things I've had to face 6 original Jupiter class battle stars in a 16K match.
So say we all.
That was not something you could do with a fleet designed for high maneuverability.
Understood.
I had to go back to my go-to fleet, which includes 5 Orions, in order to win the second round with that last night. That seems to be the only way I've been able to win consistently is with a lot of Orions. Maximum dive. Just get them under whatever the enemy has and pull the crap out of them from underneath with torpedoes.
Now, I could use a debris mine here. I changed debris mines out of my Artemises for torpedoes. That's a mistake because he's put so many PCMs down.
I don't like debris mines. I'm not very good with debris mines, but if I don't have one, I always regret it.
Oh, I'm terrible with debris mines, but I kind of... If I could use debris mines, now is a good time to use them. Yeah,
well, I tend to bring them to matches nowadays and make sure I display them at an opportune time just to keep these fighters away, create deterrence.
Heracles is taking damage. Heracles
dead
down.
Heracles. And no dead ships on his end.
Understood.
I would think the vulnerability of a 3 Mercury, 2 Heracles flight would be if you could get Orions underneath it and Valkyries underneath it. That would be.
I've got Valkyries underneath it, but like they don't do enough damage.
Yeah,
and he's doing the scummy thing of running away with his Atlases so he can finish me off with his fighters. I mean, if Blakey watched the battle between me and We Use Cookies, I think was my last opponent, who brought the same fleet, and I made the comment of he could have gotten away with it if it weren't for the fact that he didn't run his thing away. Kind of annoys me because it's very cheesy.
Yeah, I've been having discussions with how to with creating new, more refined ship limitations in order to create balance between Cylons and Colonials. And that all that's led us to a lot of debates and no real answers. I was thinking possibly limiting Mercury to 2 and Modern Bay Star to 2.
Doesn't... Right. Colonial and Cylon are just... They're both built so different, balancing them to a state that everyone agrees that is fair is basically impossible.
I would not go for consensus on that matter. I would just simply set the rules and see if we got enough signups. I mean, I've been pretty successful against Cylon fleets the past 2 weeks. I've been pretty miserable against humans with Colonials the past 2 weeks. So I've got into a Colonial rut. But every time someone threw silence at me, it took 2.5 hours one time, but I was able to overcome it with
I mean, that's one
my
of the
go-to
problems.
fleet.
Their matches take ages.
Yeah,
But
because
like
they
every match I played against a Cylon, certainly during the ill-fated second multiplayer conquest thing, that was, for the second one, that was just Cylon victories all the way. I know our colonial friends said otherwise, but we had
I don't
more
think
experienced players on our side.
Cylon, right. I don't think that people at that point knew how to use the Mercury as well as they do now.
So say
And that
we
was
all.
before the Mercury was given the third fighter squadron, and that was a game changer. But
Sure, I'll give you the Mercury
Understood.
is slightly different now.
it does seem vulnerable to small ships below it
Zerk is taking damage.
taking shots at it. The question is how to get that to happen
Squadron has gone dark.
with its at the right time.
Heracles is taking damage.
I'm the my nickname is Mercury Actual. That doesn't mean I enjoy facing the Mercury especially with an adequate supply of Orions.
Oh, I really don't like the fact he's run with his bloody atlases, because that means I'll take these. In fact, because at the moment I'm gonna try and run my Valkyries over to him, but I know the moment he sees me doing that,
Yes, sir.
he's just gonna kill them with Typhons. Which, where the hell are they? They're down there. Prepping for an attack run.
I guess you have no choice at this point, huh?
Yep, I'm going to lose, even though I'm going to kill his 3 Mercuries. Because
Yes, Commander.
I could say fighters do too much damage. He does have Typhons, which are supposed to be anti-capital, so...
Yeah, that's been...
So, kind of
Yes,
fine,
sir.
but it is a bit... I would have liked this to be a gun battle. Oh well, at least it's best of 5. So I have another few matches.
what happens if you were to bring 3 Mercuries into Atlases? Would you know how to win that with that complement?
If I brought the same, then
Yes, Commander.
maybe, because it would come down to the management of the Mercury, which I believe I would win, probably, and management of fighters, which again, I also believe I would win. Can I put that you on defense?
It's good to have self-confidence. Last night I got lucky and was able to pull one of my 2 Mercuries above the firing arc of the Artemises. I was facing 6 Artemises and some various other craft. And I just bracketed them. Below them was hit and run, stealth and unstealth Orions, and above them was Mercuries and Valkyries, and the Valkyries got destroyed. He outdived them with the Artemis, and they were useless. But I find somewhat useful if I'm going to win a fighter battle is to get a ship out of the battle area so I can survive long enough for the fighters to win. Which is, I guess, kind of a chicken shit thing to do, but it is a winning strategy. I've beaten Cal like that once in recent weeks. And the first time he faced my quote go-to fleet, he jumped 2 base stars below it and 2 Kratuses above it, and that did not end well for him.
On it, Commander.
I much prefer what he does when he jumps in with a weapons array and tries to just take you out real quickly.
Hey, it's like actually survived.
Squadron has gone dark.
At least
I'm thinking trying. I've got a fleet in the campaign game that's been pretty useful. A pair of
Understood.
J2s
On it,
and 4
Commander.
adamants. It holds up well in the air, and if the adamants are
Yes, sir.
managed properly, it does pretty well against capitals. I'm thinking maybe I ought to see
tubes
how a fleet with maybe 5 berserks does instead. The idea came to my mind. I'm doing the campaign
Understood.
game with fleet admiral level, and I don't. I'm so stuck up on myself. I don't want to skip the 14K Cylon AI fleets. I want to find a
Yes,
way to
sir.
destroy them. And usually, it's just way better to skip it. When victory criteria yesterday was simply destroy the satellites, I jumped in for adamants, took out the satellites, then jumped away, and then I won that without losing large numbers of battle stars. So this is the first match right now.
Yes.
As always, please don't forget your screenshots.
Yeah, I've taken mine.
Okay, good.
Minotaur is taking damage.
I should try and find your
Artemis is
Twitch
taking
stream and
damage.
actually watch.
Friendly unit is down. Yes, sir.
Nah, he's just.
Yes, Commander.
I'm not even gonna be able to take both Mercuries. This is an L for me.
It's a kind of bummer that it's coming down to just the only fleet that anybody can succeed with is 3 Mercuries. In spite of my love of the Mercury, there's got to be a way to beat it. I'll tell you one way it's not going to work is I've got some bottom feeder fleets that have 3 Orions and 3 Jupiters, all starting out real low. That does not do well against the Mercury.
No, I've got an idea. 'Cause I kind of don't want to stoop to the level of also bringing 3 Mercuries.
Yeah, you do what wins. Because that's how Paul beat my go-to fleet the other day. He just brought 3 Mercuries, and I skipped maximum increase in height one turn. That was the end of me.
Yeah, I'm imagining if Apollo is smart, and he probably will do, he'll go for the 5 draws on my 2 remaining ships.
Artemis is taking damage.
He's a difficult player. I've not beaten
Minotaur
him
is
in several
taking
months.
Marines aborted one of our ships.
I've come close a couple times. The closest I came to beating was about 3 months ago when I started using the Orion.
On it, Commander.
He and Matt said, "What the fuck happened to my fighters?" What happened to them was the light guns. I got 3 Orions under his fighters with fighters engaged at the same time, and that just provided a major advantage to me. But I didn't actually win the match.
Yeah, no, it's something vaguely similar is happening to me. Like, I say I possibly have. I would have had a better chance of killing his 3 Mercuries if I'd risen my Artemises from the get-go, such that they would engage with my Heracles and all my firepower. All the guns would be brought to bear on the 3.
Yeah,
At the same time. But I
That's
would have still
difficult to
lost because
do.
of the type ends and atlases that are miles away.
Yeah. It's difficult to accomplish, but most of the matches I've won
So say
recently
we all.
were won because of getting most of my firing coming to bear the same turn. So that I had 6 or 7 ships shooting at one ship. But obviously there are ways to avoid that, which is
Minotaur is
apparently
taking
what he has
damage.
just done.
Artemis is taking damage. Artemis, down.
Oh, is that gonna go down? Yep. Just a Heracles left.
So I gotcha. Actually, the speculative community, a lot of people were betting on you.
Yep. But I have a feeling I'm doomed to come second again, as I have taken part in all but the first tournaments, and every single time lost to the tournament winner. Not necessarily in the final,
Yeah.
but lose to the person who would eventually win the tournament. So if Apollo Locker wins this, he's got a good chance of actually winning the tournament just by that
If past
Missiles
if
incoming.
past performance is a predictor of future events, that's true. I think he's going to have a lot of trouble with explosive, though. Explosive has this range management system that is just very eerie, difficult to overcome. I played him 3 times in the run up to the tournament, and I won one of them. And he complimented me on that as having broken his strategy, but I was not able to duplicate it a second time. Where'd your name come from, anyway? Robot Penguin.
There's 2 things I like. I like robots, and I like penguin.
Oh.
Like, I made that name over a decade ago now.
It has something to do with Linux, because I work with
Hi,
operating
hi there,
systems in
Penguin.
Linux.
Hello, you two.
If you don't mind, I would like to take a few minutes to make sure that everything's fine on my end, because I did have some strange graphic bugs appearing. I'm pretty sure it was on my end, so give me a couple minutes to sort this out. And let's say we have the next match 11:55 or 10:55 in your case. Like in 10 minutes.
10:55. Yeah, 10 minutes.
Okay.
Hello, Apollo. How are you doing?
Hi. Quite well. I had a good night's sleep, so I'm properly working, let's say. I have to say, by the way, that... Hello, who's that? Oh, destructive. By the way, I have to say that your trick with those 2 Heracles up top, really neat.
Yep,
Really neat, especially that I think
it's supposed to be the anti-Mercury thing.
Mercury.
And, like,
yeah.
If you watch the stream back, you'll see that I'm debated a lot of the time climbing my Artemises and Minotaurs, climbing both of those, so that everything can fire at once, like I did against We Use Cookies, who had brought that 3 Mercury to Atlas fleet, and I won against that.
Oh, he had 2 Atlas as well. Wow, that's
he brought
surprising. I thought
fleet.
he had...
It's a popular fleet.
Actually, I saw this version with Rangers. I think on the right-hand side of our table, somebody was using it. I think Dread, perhaps. But with Heracles, he told me, and I think one of the players I played also copied that fleet. It's not very common, but relatively popular, yeah. But I think that, I might be mistaken, but I think Mercury is a bit slower than the Artemis in diving climbing rate, and Heracles is a bit slower than the Artemis as well. So while you were getting above me, you were getting very, very, very slowly above me.
Yeah,
not enough to attack my fire control.
Yeah, the Heracles can't climb that much. It's more to deny the bottom BSRT, mainly.
Yeah, true. True, I had firing solution when we engaged. I think the first turn, I'm not sure if I had top artillery, but the next turn of the engagement, I definitely had top artillery on you, which means that you were climbing above me. So that does work in a way.
Yeah, because then it's like
Okay, so
4 top rather than 8 bottom. So it kind of.
And also, I think the Mercury front B8 really struggles to shoot upwards because of where it is. So by getting above it, you also cut out a large chunk of the front battery as well.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have won anyway because fighters you ran away with your carriers.
Mercury's airing is too good.
well, they did blew up quite nicely, I have to say, and most of the damage came from fighters. The Mercuries did a fraction of it, to be honest. Those two that blew up dealt less damage than their air wing in this battle. I pretty much use them as tanky carriers, like Frontline Atlas.
Yeah, and that's my problem with the Mercury, is that it is another Atlas, just better. Because it's also got the...
I'm really happy.
It's got better
It's
guns.
actually the only ship that helps us engage the silent fighters, so I really like that we actually have 2 carriers in our fleets. Even though one is really expensive and large, and but still, it.
I think the cases when we need it to beat the Cylons, there's a bigger issue than we need one big super ship to beat the Cylons. It's a case of the entire colonial fleet needs a rework. Right, if the answer to the Cylons are too powerful is we need one super ship, that implies a bigger problem than we need a super. That implies a bigger problem that can't be fixed with just one super ship.
Though I have to say, Mercury is more of a, if you consider it a super ship, it's a super ship in terms of colonial v colonial. Against Cylons, the airing is powerful, but the ship itself is relatively rubbish, especially with small flak field and low maneuverability. It can work nice against their gunships, but not against their carriers. Not that well, or at least missile platforms. Okay, I posted our game time, 9:55 GMT and 11:55 my local time zone. Hopefully everything will be working this time.
Reboot. If it involves Microsoft Windows, reboot.
Yes, restart this stuff. I just said it's still there because I have integrated a normal graphic card, and I think it's simply switching to the wrong one, and I'm not sure why. It sometimes happens to me during games, but it's okay. I'll just restart everything.
I don't go with systems that have 2 graphics cards. It saves me that trouble.
Yeah, sometimes I don't have a choice. Like I'm on a laptop and integrated is just there. Like, you can't change that.
Yeah. Maybe what's happening with my migration from one MacBook Pro to another, they switched to Intel from a different vendor, not NVIDIA, AMD. And my Windows image won't boot in the system.
Intel, and they've recently switched to ARM.
The MacBook Pro I just got is not an ARM. It's the last Intel one. My father needed my old computer, so I got a new one. And I avoided ARM. There's no license to run Windows on ARM, so I avoided that this round. And now I have 5 years before I have to worry about this again.
ARM-based computers are kind of new, at least for Windows. They've been on phones for maybe a decade.
Yeah.
But for Windows, it's new.
Yeah. And even in Linux space, there's not really a full suite of ARM systems. That's why I stayed with the MacBook Pro, which is still Intel, so I can run my Linux systems with VMware with full Red Hat support. So that's my situation. My buy was triggered by the fact that for 2 years I've offered my daughter my current MacBook Pro for her desire to become a full-time YouTube video editor, and she took me up on the offer, and I was going to be left with no computer on August 16th of my own. I've got I got a Windows machine for playing Deadlock, which I didn't intend to do, and I've got the MacBook Pro for all the rest of my work. Next match it comes up because I've got an hour to kill before I can get out of bed. Where's your Twitch link?
I put it in the events discussion channel.
Okay, that's fine. I'll go there if I can. Still connect to you. If I'm annoying and talk too much, just tell me. I'll shut up. Oh, I have to leave this in order to do that. Okay. Events general discussion. Ah, there's Penguin. The robot Penguin.
Which is my Twitch.
No, it doesn't like that. Copy. I have to use a different browser. No. This is not sleeping.
That one.
So this is your first match?
That was the first match.
I wish you great success. I'd like to see one of these matches go the full 5 games. That's just my wish to have a successful tournament.
Okay, hi, I'm back. Hopefully everything will work this time. Robot, do you want to set up the game? Or should I?
Yep, hang on, I'm gonna go stop streaming and restart the stream so that I get just a stream of first match, and then I can change the title. So